Ladies and gentlemen, the madness is back. It's the month of March. It's here. It's March 1st, 2022. We're kicking off the EDC quarterfinal round here tonight. We're starting off with the girls. Alongside joining me is Dan Wolf. I'm Jackson Miller. It's the best time of the year for basketball, Dan. It's just something different about this month. You know, the month of March for the sport of basketball, the month of March is just a lot different.
It is. If you're a basketball fan, you've got to love this opportunity. Everyone starts fresh. Everybody has the same record going into that tournament season. And if you can catch lightning in a bottle for 2 games, 3 games, you can make dreams come true. And that's what both the Mustang girls and the Husky girls are going to look to do tonight.
So yeah, as Dan said, the Sheyenne Mustangs are the number 2 seed. They're hosting the number 7 seed Wahpeton Huskies. For the girls, we're going to start off with the girls matchup tonight. The boys matchup will be between the number 2 seed Mustangs and the number 7 seed Fargo South Bruins. But the girls right now, they're coming into the tournament with peaking. They're peaking at the right time. They're on a 15-game winning streak, and they stand at 18-3.
Boy, no team in the state has been hotter than Sheyenne has since about January 1st. This has just been a different team. They bought into Coach Wingenbach's game plan and his philosophy. They're playing with a tremendous amount of confidence. And as far as they're concerned, there is no, the sky's the limit for them. They feel like they can play with anyone, and we've seen it. They beat everybody in the EDC. They've beaten Davies. They've beaten West Fargo. They've beaten Red River. They've beaten everyone that there is. Of course, we know the challenge really lies out west, probably. It has for the last few years. But for now, this team is excited and they're confident. So I don't see any reason why we should expect anything different from Sheyenne tonight. I'm sure they're anxious to just get it going.
Well, and the last matchup between these, or especially the first matchup between these two teams, it was really close early in the season. As you can hear the pep band, they're playing for us tonight. A pretty close matchup. It came down to the wire, and the Huskies played the Mustangs tough. And the Mustangs are a different team than they were at the beginning of the season. But anything can happen at this time of year.
Well, that's right. It was game 2 or 3, and as you pointed out, Jackson, went down to the wire. Peyton Breidenbach hit a shot at the buzzer, winning the game for Sheyenne. I don't think Coach Wingenbach probably feels like they played their best that game, but, it is what it is. You just have to deal with it. But obviously, Cheyenne's not the same team. I've talked to a couple of different coaches in the East with the girls, and they've all said, Wahpeton's a sneaky, tough team. They play physical, they play hard, they will make you work. So the record might not reflect it. They have a 7 seeding coming in, but this is a team that works really hard. They play good defense, and certainly not a team that Sheyenne should take lightly or look past.
Absolutely, because there's just this month for basketball is just full of upsets, whether it's at the high school level or the college level. And then when you get to the playoffs in the NBA, there's possibly a few series that are closer than people that would expect.
Just look at last Saturday for the NCAA men. First time in history that numbers 1, through 7 all lost on the same day. So
Yeah.
you do not know what's going to happen.
And that's regular season.
That's just regular season. It just worked out that way. So, I think you just really kind of emphasize the small things when it comes to playoff time. Taking care of the ball, smart passing, boxing out, doing the little things well. The offense, the flow of the game, that comes, but you can't overlook the small things that have gotten you here. And so I'm sure that's been a focus for Coach Wingenbach. I don't think probably either coach really cares who they play. You got to play the next team up, and that's just how it is. But this should be a good one. I would think Wahpeton has reason to believe they can play with Sheyenne. They've proven it. And for Sheyenne, why would you think that this game would be any different? It's 2022. You have yet to be defeated in this year. So you keep riding that wave of momentum and don't look back. Don't think about it.
Well, this sport, sometimes the best team doesn't always win. Yeah, a team may have more talent, but the team that works the hardest is going to win. It's whoever plays better.
Absolutely. And in a 36-minute showdown, that can go lots of ways. A team struggles from the field. An injury or foul trouble can really tilt the balance of what the game should be. You get to go on a little run, a little momentum, someone catches fire, and it can all turn upside down in a hurry. And, you don't win games like this in the first half, but you can sure play your way out of it. And I think that's something that both teams in both games tonight, those coaches will be thinking about that. You don't want to let a team run out and get a lead of 15, 20 points in the first half. That's a long way to come back. And don't get too confident. You come out and you play well and go, I'm shooting well, we're rebounding well, we're doing this well. This is going to be easy. Anyone who's been around the game or watches knows it can change in a heartbeat.
Well, and I think one huge word that describes, a lot of things that happen in the month of March during basketball, during March Madness, and during tournament time is belief. When a lower seeded team, like let's go back to 2018 in the round of 64, the first round, UMBC versus Virginia. Virginia was the #1 overall seed. They were 31-2. They came into the tournament with the best defense. And UMBC, this was a team that not a lot of people have heard of. And they came out, hung with Virginia. It was tied at halftime at 21. And then they got hot from the three. And after that, as that belief kicked in, Virginia's spirit started to break.
Yeah.
While UMBC just, they kept believing, and they eventually won by 20.
Well, and I think, when you're a lower-seeded team, you're right, Jackson. The longer you hang around, the more confidence you're going to get. And we talked about it in that game between Sheyenne and Davies a few weeks ago. We knew Sheyenne had been in a bunch of those tight games, pressure-pack games. We didn't know how many Davies had been in. And as it turned out, the score looked a lot more lopsided than the game itself was. But Sheyenne had built a lead. They gave it up, and, you tended to think, this is going to be trouble. That Davies is going to show what they can do, and Sheyenne weathered that storm, and they just continued to pull away from them. And, so having that experience, and I think a lot of it is what you get from your coach. If your coach doesn't look like they have, the fear in their eyes or they're hitting the panic button, I don't think players will do that. If they look at a coach and truly believe, and they look at their teammates and believe we can do this, that's how they'll play.
And that was a 53-point turnaround. I mean, the first time Davies and Sheyenne went up against each other for the girls, Davies won on their home floor 79-47. And then a few weeks ago, Sheyenne came on their home floor and beat Davies by 21.
Yeah. That first game, you might have wondered, was someone hurt for Cheyenne? Did they not have a full complement of players? Yeah.
And they were still getting used to Kendon Wingenbach.
Yeah,
and
his buying into that philosophy, and that is so huge. Well, we're less than a minute away. Last thoughts?
Well, I just can't wait. I can hardly contain it. This month, the month of March is finally here. March 1st, tournament time is officially here. We're kicking off the quarterfinal round, starting off with the girls' game. The Mustangs are taking on the Wahpeton Huskies here on their home floor. And we got the band in the background, kind of like a college feeling almost. You hear that band in the during timeouts and during breaks.
It does add to the ambiance, no doubt, but there are times
it
feels like we're sitting within the band. They are awfully close to us, so we do apologize if it's difficult to hear us at times, but we will do our best, and we have a special treat We're going to be joined by Tom Kirchhoffner, Sheyenne boys head coach, at halftime for a little preview of the boys game, and then we're going to hear from Coach Wingenbach at halftime of the boys game and kind of a recap and an evaluation of where they sit looking forward for the rest of the EDC. So this is opening night of the tournament. Playing games happened last Saturday, but everywhere around the EDC, the games are going on, and so this is exciting.
And we are going to send it down to the PA as we are going to get the national anthem and starting lineups momentarily.
So Jackson, in thinking about this, you know, we didn't do either of the Wahpeton, West Fargo, Sheyenne games this year. There was a scheduling conflict for that first matchup here at Sheyenne, and then on the road, obviously, we weren't able to broadcast that. So, excuse me, this will be my first opportunity to see the Huskies up close here and see what they play like. So we might normally like to give you a little update of, hey, here's what we might expect from Wahpeton, but I'm afraid we're a little bit at a disadvantage here tonight in terms of giving you anything to keep an eye on. I think for Sheyenne, who would you say is the X factor tonight, Jackson? Who's going to be the one that that maybe makes a statement?
I think especially at this time of year when these games are intense and, you know, there's a lot of pressure, I would say it starts with the point guard, Payne Breitenbach, keeping things under control. You know, as the point guard myself, I think a lot of it runs through, you know, the point guard. You know, that's the leader of the offense, gets everything. It's supposed to be the team leader, kind of settle everyone down, get everyone on point and everyone on the same page. So I think Peyton Breitenbach does a good job of that with the girls. She's a great ball handler as well, so she's able to handle that pressure that she receives in the full court.
Well, I'm not going to stray too far off in terms of looking at important people. I'm going to look at Maya Metcalf. This is the time of year when your best players come to play and prove why, you know, you've relied on them all year and what they can do for your team. And I'm going to expect a big game from Maya Metcalf tonight.
Well, and I think down the stretch, you know, in the regular season, I think Carson Sanders stepped up big time for the Mustangs, especially she hit that game winner in the corner against Red River, which is one of the top teams in the EDC.
Absolutely, and we talked about a game prior to that where, you know, probably wasn't a game that she showed up a ton in the stats or the highlights, but she played such a complete all-around game in terms of rebounding, defending, and providing some offense. But you're right, that Red River game, she came out and scored, what was it, 8 of the first 10 points in the second half for the Mustangs, knocked down that big 3 down the stretch. You know, this is a team that, you know, really is I think kind of built for postseason basketball. They can play multiple styles. They get up and down the floor, so this should be exciting.
Well, and be prepared to see Olivia Manson knock down some huge threes for this Mustang squad. And then, like you said, Brooke Johnson, she steps up as well. So the Mustangs are going to start with Metcalf, Manson, Breitenbach, Johnson, and then Sanders.
And for Brenna Dick, you know, coming off the bench, we know the spark that she provides, how athletic she is, and what a difference that makes for the Mustangs.
We are underway, the EDC quarterfinal round between the number 2 seed, the Mustangs, and the number 7 seed, Wahpeton Huskies. Here's Sanders down low. Hook shot won't go.
And before we get too deep into the contest here, we want to make sure that we take a minute to thank our playoff game sponsors, the Mustang Boosters, Cale Dangerud, Matt and Brenda Entz, Corporate Technologies, and without their support, today's broadcast would not happen. Scout Woods goes down inside, looking for Taya Lunneborg, and she's unable to handle it.
It's a pretty cool name, Dan, if you ask me. Kind of a cool name, pretty unique. And here we go, Breitenbach back at the top of the key. Swings it over to Manson, and the Huskies are going to come out in a little bit of a zone look here.
I think going to try and make the the Mustangs move the ball. Long shot, air ball by Maya Metcalf, but Brooke Johnson in perfect position.
You could say it's a pass.
That we could. Maybe she'll get the assist on that one.
So here's Scout Woods now, hands it off. The Huskies with a little weave action here. There's Kumo, kicks it over. They're going to stick with that weave, it looks like.
Looking for that slightest of space, to try and get downhill and see what you can do. Good defense there.
There we go. Now we're going the other way. It all starts with defense. Defense wins championships, especially at this time of year. Inside, Metcalf tries to make a move. It's blocked. Great defense there.
Great defense.
And Scout Woods pushing the tempo now. She's going to penetrate. Left-handed shot. She's fouled on the way up.
I think that's always, if you're a low seed, that's a great thing to do, is try and push tempo. See how many quick, easy baskets you can get, or maybe get that other team in foul trouble if you have that ability to do so. So Woods makes the first. And the second.
And the second, 2 for 2 from the line. The Huskies finished the regular season 10-12 overall. The Mustangs finished 18-3. The Mustangs break the press easy. Here's an outside 3 from Sanders. That won't go. That's short off of the rim. Great hustle there by Scout Woods to get on the floor. Great ball movement. Number 12, Lydia Moldo fires. That's off the back iron. And the Huskies will get the offensive rebound and retain possession. Get one more shot here, or another shot here. Deflected. That's blocked by Carson Sanders.
So I think a key here for Sheyenne, especially early on, don't settle for shots. We know there are people on the team that are probably more adept at outside shooting, but those are the types of opportunities you want to get. You want to get some penetration, see if you can use that size advantage near the basket and not just settle for that open look on a 3. Just because it's open doesn't mean it's a good shot selection.
Sometimes you got to pass up a good shot for a great shot. Yeah. Move that ball one more time. Great penetration by Scout Woods, and one. Coming out with the first 4 points here for the Huskies. Scout Woods can make it a 5th here from the line. The old-fashioned way to get 3 points. See if she can convert the 3-point play.
And that's something for Scout Woods, only a freshman. But something she brings is, she matches up size-wise fairly well.
5'10", yeah.
Fairly well with Metcalf and with Carson Sanders. We see Olivia Manson bury the wing 3.
There you go.
But, that's twice she's gone to the basket and drawn a foul, one on Sanders and Metcalf each. And so, that's something that Sheyenne will have to be careful of to prevent either one of those two from getting into foul trouble.
Scout Woods drives on Sanders, gets the left-handed finish to go. She's got 6. And that's the flight. She's doing it on both ends of the floor for the Huskies so far. The freshman phenom coming out early here.
freshman who's excited about her first EDC tournament opportunity.
Absolutely.
You know.
Here's a three from the top of the key from Brenna Dick. That's long off of the back iron. Tipped by Sanders, back out to Dick. Breitenbach fires from the wing, and that's short. It's going to be out of bounds, though, and it's going to stay with the Mustangs. Brooke Johnson back into the game, coming in for Carson Sanders. Some screen action on the low block. And the Husky student section showed up for tonight. Great defense. Manson fires from the top of the key. Got one to go earlier. That time it won't. Off of the back iron.
Not many white jerseys around the basket on that offensive rebound. Something that Cheyenne's going to have to try and make a concerted effort to do. Is good cut there by Coolmo and just unable to convert. A good look.
Great ball movement here so far. Brenna Dick lost it. Mustangs recover. Breitenbach fires off of the back iron. All the shots have been long so far.
Just Manson with the one converted three. You know, and that's sometimes you get going, you know, that adrenaline's pumping a little bit at tournament time, and just have a little bit of extra foot-pounds of pressure behind that jump shot, and trying to just settle in and kind of feel the rhythm of the game. And that's again why I think it's a good idea to just try and look to get to the rim as much as possible, kind of expend that adrenaline that you have, and then you settle into that flow.
When I would say the exciting nerves kick in, that's what I like to call them. You're excited and you're nervous. But once you get going, everything becomes a little easier.
Yeah.
And the butterflies in your stomach start to go away.
They're going to get Coolmo with the foul on that one. I think that's going to be on the ground. Yeah.
Maya Max coming into the game for the Huskies.
And Emma Bonchus.
Saw a couple changes there. Brenna Dick pump fakes, kicks it back out to Johnson in the corner. It looks like Dick had a layup there. And that's thrown away. Johnson's pass is intercepted.
By Max.
And Max
the finish.
There you go. Maya Max picks off Brooke Johnson's pass and goes back the other way for two. 8-7.
Good find.
There you go.
Great job, Brooke Johnson,
makes
coming
it up
from the weak side, finding that spot in the defense. Easy basket.
Scout Woods is going to penetrate, kicks it back out into the corner. That's long. Weak side rebound there, and that's by Max. Got the last couple of buckets for the Huskies. That time it was an offensive rebound and then the putback for two. Manson fires. She got it. That's her second from downtown. So Manson's got 6 here. A pair of triples.
And that's that danger with the zone. Undoubtedly, Wahpeton looking to try and pack it in against the larger Mustangs. But if they start heating up from the outside, that can spell danger for any zone.
Nice
Great
floater
little
there.
Floater by Brenna Dick.
Just went in and out.
And they're going to get Breidenbach with a foul there, trying to poke the ball out, as we see Fagerlund and Sanders in for Manson and Metcalf.
And, you know, Manson and Fagerlund, the two seniors on the Mustangs, trying to make that one last push, end their high school careers on a high note. And, you know, this team right now, if any team in the Sheyenne girls basketball program's history, this could be the team that makes a huge run in the state tournament.
It certainly could be. And you know, obviously you have a sharpshooter in Olivia Manson, and Fagerlund can fill it up from outside as well. But there's a travel. They're going to get her with that change of the pivot foot. But, you know, that's the only two that they're going to lose. So this is a team that returns the vast majority of their players for another run next year.
I mean, this is pretty much the same team as last year, besides Jaden Feist, who graduated last spring. So you got to give credit to head coach Kenyon Wingenbach as well, you know, to go 18-3 in your first season with the new program. That's pretty impressive.
I would imagine that Coach Wingenbach's going to get his very fair share of good putback by Sanders, and that's, you saw now, 2 people around the basket. That's what Sheyenne has to do, but you got to believe Coach Wingenbach's going to get a lot of love from the other coaches when it comes time for that Coach of the Year voting.
Would be interesting if Sheyenne made a huge run to maybe the state semifinal, maybe state championship. Depends on how the seeding goes, especially out west. They end up playing Bismarck Century late in the tournament. That'd be a pretty cool matchup,
That
and
would
it'd be
be
a pretty good
fantastic.
test, too.
Well, and especially with Coach Wingenbach being that former assistant,
he knows the team.
He would know the team as well as anyone.
I mean, Century does have junior standout Logan Nisley, who went off in the state championship against Davies last year as a sophomore. She had a pretty good tournament overall. She was just a stud for the Patriots. Benedict fires. Can't get it to go. Rattles off of the rim. And the Huskies pushing the tempo now. Great move, and the finish in transition by Kulmo.
And Benedict undercut her just a little bit to try and see if she could throw off that timing, but good job by Kulmo keeping her focus and converting on that one.
Benedict's going to penetrate. She's blocked.
No, I think that's a great take. She's missed a couple of threes and just looking to use her athleticism to get near the basket. Yeah, that was blocked, but they're going to retain possession on that. Again, I still think that's a really sound philosophy here. That's really what you're going to want to do.
That was Lundberg who blocked that shot. She also had a block earlier in the game. Scout Woods came in for Lundberg, and she's been playing some great defense though so far for the Huskies, so she'll probably be back in there soon. That 3 is long. Great rebound and put back
from Lauren Fagerlund.
Lauren Fagerlund.
all 5'5" of her dominating. Woo! There's a good 3.
That's by Allard. And that's going to be a timeout taken. Back and forth action here in the EDC quarterfinal round here between the Mustangs and the Huskies. Mustangs lead 16-15 with 9:29 to go in the first half.
In this place, we face obstacles like nowhere else. The clock, the trail, the hill, the challenge that's always waiting. When that challenge comes, we'll meet it together. Because it's your chance to show what you're made of. Tenacity, resilience, and the power to prove that the toughest competition comes from within. This is orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else.
Mustang fans, this broadcast is proudly sponsored by Apex Engineering Group, professional consultants serving North Dakota, South Dakota, and Minnesota communities and public agencies, designing solutions to your infrastructure needs. If you set the bar at Capens, how do you reach excellence? Find out at apexenggroup.com.
Great steal and bounce pass there by Scout Woods. Max just unable to convert.
The players are already getting up and down the floor early.
Yeah.
The pace picks up, and especially in March, you're not going to get a lot of calls from the refs anymore. They're going to probably let you play out a little bit more.
They're going to let the players decide the outcome and not the whistle. And for Wahpeton, I'm sure that you're going to be pleased with being only down 1 halfway through the first half. You're hanging the entire game to this point and actually had a couple of small leads. So, probably the game plan and executing exactly the way that the Huskies had hoped to.
So to keep in mind, folks, whoever loses this game has to win their next 2 to get to state in the EDC and WDA tournaments. Basically in Class A basketball, you got to win 2 out of the 3 games in your conference tournament to make state. If you win your first 2, you're automatically in, and then you play for the 1 seed out of your conference from there. And then there's that crossover between the semifinal losers and the consolation semifinal winners. And then the higher seed between the 2 state qualifying winners from those two state qualifier games as the 3 seed.
Mustang fans, or the bench anyway, was looking for a travel there on Max. No travel called, and looks like Fagerlund's going to pick up her first as Manson comes in for her. Model back in for the Huskies for Max.
Coming out of the break, we still haven't seen a score since the timeout. Here's a 3, and that's good! Kumo from the outside, and the Huskies back up by 2. I expected this, really, to be honest with you. It's tournament time, folks.
Good find.
Great find. Oh, Sanders couldn't get it to go.
You know, that's the one thing you can take advantage of if you're Sheyenne. Scout Woods playing very aggressive D, looking to jump passing lanes, and she just lost track of Sanders there. And, you know, Sanders had that point-blank shot but unable to convert, unfortunately for Sheyenne.
Here's another 3. Kumo can't get it to go, long off of the back iron. She got one to go a moment ago. Manson, quick release from the corner. She got it.
That's her third of the half.
That's her third of the half already. 9 from Manson out of the first 19 from the Mustangs. Here's Woods, high post, kicks it back out. Huskies moving the ball around here, trying to get a good look here.
5 left on the shot clock.
So Kuhlmo's going to be forced to penetrate. Great spin move, and she got the left-handed finish to go.
Not much in the way of help there from the Sheyenne defense. Kuhlmo drove right down the middle and no one collapsed. Yeah, that's probably Coach Wingenbach not happy with that.
Great drop step. Drop step finish there by Sanders. Averaging 9 points a game and 6.9 rebounds. Here's a 3 from the top of the key. That's long. Rebounded by Metcalf. Breitenbach crosses over. Is looking for Sanders. It's tipped away by Woods. And Kuhlmo's going to push the tempo now. She's going to attack once again. A little floater. High off the glass. That won't go. Johnson with the rebound. And Breitenbach out in transition now. Swings it over to Manson. She's hit 3 already. That won't go. Woods gets the weak side rebound.
Smart play by Metcalf there. She, you know, she wanted to fight for that one, but Woods definitely had the inside position and no need to pick up a foul that wasn't going to change anything anyway. Woods was still going to get that rebound.
She lost the ball there. It's going to be a jump ball. And it's going to stay with the Huskies as they are in favor of the possession arrow.
Dick and Fagerlund back in. Johnson and Sanders out for the Mustangs.
So here's a look at the bracket for the girls. It's going to be Davies at the number 1 seed, and then they're going to be taking on the number 9 seed Fargo North Spartans, as that 3 from the corner won't go. And then number 4 West Fargo High is taking on number 5 Shanley, and then the winner of this game will take on the winner of number 3 Grand Forks Red River and number 6 seed Devils Lake.
In and out for Brenda Dick, but great job cleaning up the glass by Maya Metcalf, crashing the boards. And again, I think just overall, Cheyenne's going to be able to do that, but you got to make sure that those players make that concerted effort to go for those offensive rebounds.
Mid-range jumper's good.
Nice shot there by number 4, McKenna Brewer.
So Brewer's on the board now for the Huskies. Here's a 3 from Fagerlund. Won't go, rebounded by Woods. And Scout Woods, pull-up jumper from the elbow. She got the touch and the roll for 2. Back and forth game, 4.5 minutes to go here in the first half. It's 24-23. The Huskies and the Mustangs trading buckets right now. Just, that's what we wanted to see here. Great find.
Good
Breitenbach
cut.
finds Brenna Dick, but couldn't get it to go. Mustangs have missed a few of those bunnies now on the right block. Great defense by Manson. She knocks it away. Gets it back to the Mustangs. Great pump fake by Brenna Dick. Baseline drive. Great defense by Lundborg. And that's going to be out of bounds. Fagerlund stepped on the line.
And Cheyenne going to show their first hint at a little pressure here.
Wingenbach was calling it out. Great defense. Breitenbach saves it, and she's going to go up with the left hand for the finish.
Walk the tightrope along the sideline. Great anticipation, managed to stay in, and finishes on her own coast to coast.
Breitenbach averaging 9.5 points a game and 4.9 assists. And Brenna Dick finishes in transition. And the Mustangs with a couple of steals in a row and then finishing in transition. That's what you need. Mustangs lead.
But Coach Watson going to make sure that everyone.
So we went to a quick commercial break there, Dan. Mustangs lead 27-24 with 3:23 to go here.
My best take of the night, and the producer cut me off. So,
well, Grant, we do
pass.
appreciate you producing for us tonight, along with Brian Wright. He usually runs the drone for us as well. He's one of our drone guys.
So good job out of the timeout there by Wahpeton, beating the Cheyenne pressure, got the long pass. Kuhlmo goes down, draws the foul from Breitenbach. That is the 15th foul for the Mustangs. Still only one for the Huskies, but no one in foul trouble yet. No one with more than two, as we see Kuhlmo knock down the first of the two. They're going to probably have Breitenbach ride the bench for the remainder of the half. Don't want to get her in that third foul situation. So that means Brenna Dick will probably take over at point, and now Wahpeton going to give a little full court look.
Here's a three from Fagerlund off of the back iron. Great rebound by Brenna Dick. Kicks it back out to Manson. Fagerlund reverses over to Metcalf. Cross-court pass, mid-range jumper from Manson's good, and she's got 11.
She is feeling it tonight, no doubt about that. You know, and that's good shooters. Yeah, we know she can shoot it from the three. She's got a very soft touch. We haven't seen her take one of her floaters yet tonight, but she does a good job there as well. Good cut, good pass.
Oh, Allard couldn't get it to go.
Everything but go down on that one.
But yeah, Manson, you know, the best shooters, like Manson, they can shoot it from all over on the floor, including the mid-range. Nice low touch. Like you said, we've yet to see the floater. We've seen a couple from Brenna Dick, and she's got a nice touch on her floater as well. His great defense by Lundborg. Couldn't get the layup to go. Although she's been playing great defense for the Huskies tonight, and hard fall there.
They're going to get Motto on that foul. Manson was having a little trouble corralling the ball, but in the end they determined Motto helped her to the ground. Brooke Johnson in for Manson as we're 2.5 to go here with the Mustangs up 29-26.
2.5 minutes to go.
Wahpeton back into that 2-3 zone look. There's that high-low that they've been looking for.
Oh, Sanders. Man, the Mustangs have just not been able to convert on those little bunnies.
They've left a few out there tonight, that's for sure. There's a foul on Max. Didn't really have a plan beyond that jump stop, and Woods back in the game for the Huskies.
Great ball movement here. Sanders penetrates, gets
There's
the
a good
right-handed
look.
finish to go.
That's the way to beat a press. Ball didn't touch the ground really until Brenna Dick had it for a bounce or two, and then on to Carson Sanders for a drive. Brooke Johnson doing a good job of hounding Scout Woods, who's been their most consistent offensive performer.
Metcalf's pass right after she got the steal is picked off by Kumo. And she's going to go coast to coast here. Right-handed tough shot won't go. Fagerlund gets the weak-sided board. And Brenna Dick pushing the motor now for the Mustangs. Kicks it to Sanders in the corner. That won't go. That's short. Metcalf fights for it. Rips it away. Couldn't get the putback to go. And that's going to be a foul on the Mustangs.
They're going to get Metcalf on that, taking the swat at the rebound. That's her second with 1:22 to go. Sure, Coach Wingenbach does not want to have to go into halftime with anyone on the team with 3 fouls. He's going to let Metcalf stay out there for the last minute plus.
What a fast-paced, high fast-paced first half we've seen here between these two teams. Tough shot. That's great defense by Sanders. He rejects it once again. Brenna Dick, Euro step in transition. Oh, almost got the N1.
Kuhlmo looked like she gave her just enough hip that they picked up that foul. So we're going to have Brenna Dick going to the line for 2. And, of course, that game against Red River a couple weeks ago, we saw her knock down 2 huge free throws at the end of the game to ice that game for the Mustangs.
Brenna Dick averaging 12.3 points per game and 4.9 rebounds. The Mustangs on a 9-2 run here. That second free throw won't go. Great penetration, baseline drive, reverse layup.
Boy,
that's
unfortunate.
Maya Max going to the line.
Yeah, Brenna Dick, you know, Max had such a difficult angle on that reverse. If you just let her shoot that, the odds of converting probably aren't very good. But it looked like Dick came down with her arm and ended up fouling Max on that.
Max is short on the first out of 2. Gets the second one to go, 32-27. We got 50 seconds to go here in this first half. Sanders, a little floater, long. Maya Max gets the rebound, tried to take it coast to coast. Great defense by Brenna Diggs, scoops in and gets the steal, and she's going to finish all the way. Oh, hard off the glass. But
Great
cleans
job.
it up by Manson, cleans it up for the putback. Hopefully the Mustangs can get those bunnies to go in the second half.
Completely turned the Husky defender around there and had an open look, just probably too flat of an angle. That's such a tough shot when you're going at full speed
She
like
gets
that.
another steal. Oh my goodness.
Now that's a much
And
better
gets that
angle.
one to go.
That's a better angle.
There you
come
go.
from that lower block. 2 seconds to go.
Last
And
second shot, that's not
gonna
going to count. Lundberg is short on it anyways. 36-27. Oh, the Huskies had control there for a little bit, but the
They
Mustangs
did.
went on a little bit of a run there.
They hung with them and almost a sneaky-ish 9-point lead. Not, watching the game, aside from a few turnovers and transition buckets, really Wahpeton played pretty well and hung with the Mustangs, but those consecutive steals by Breidenbach and then Brenna Dick, and then Brenna Dick twice in a row a few minutes later, that they converted on all 8 of those points, and that's about the difference in the game right
Absolutely.
now.
The Mustangs finished the half with a 12-3 run. They lead 36-27 at halftime. We're going to come back with an interview with the head boys coach for the Mustangs, Tom Kirchhoffner. We'll see you shortly.
In this place, we face obstacles like nowhere else. The clock, the trail, the hill, the challenge that's always waiting. When that challenge comes, we'll meet it together. Because it's your chance to show what you're made of. Tenacity, resilience, and the power to prove that the toughest competition comes from within. This is orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else.
I kind of wonder where to even begin about what I love about Touchmark. It's everything. It's the time with the residents. It's my team. I work with wonderful individuals every single day. I love the people, and my job is to connect with them. And that's a pretty great job to have, that you get to make genuine, real connections with our residents and our team members. It's just the overall community. That is Touchmark. That's what I love.
Your full life happens here at Touchmark.
In this place, we see potential like nowhere else. Here, vision is boundless. That's why we never settle. We look for the moments when everything becomes possible. The moments that inspire us to make every day better. In this place, there's no such thing as good. There's only great. This is orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else.
Why do I choose to work here? It's the people. It's the feeling that you get when you've been gone for a weekend and everybody's genuinely happy to see you and you're so happy to see them too.
They are wonderful. The staff is wonderful. They are so friendly. They're so happy all the time.
It's a family. It's just that overall culture that we have. It's a great culture, and I'm very lucky to be a part of it.
Your full life happens here at Touchmark.
We are back from that short break here, short commercial break. We are 5.5 minutes from getting the second half underway here between the Huskies and the Mustangs. We do want to remind you guys that the halftime highlights coming up here are sponsored by Touchmark at Harwood Groves, a full-service retirement community complete with the Health and Fitness Club, offering fitness classes, personal training, and more so you can stay active with your grandkids for years to come. Visit touchmarkfargo.com to learn more. And once again, we're joined by the head coach for the boys basketball team here at Sheyenne, Tom Kirchhoffner. Thanks again for being up here, Tom. You know, you guys are about to take on the Fargo South Bruins. That you guys beat them both times in the regular season. They were both 10-point wins, so you know, what's your message to your team coming into a tournament game against them?
Well, for us, it's we're not changing anything. We've had success against them, so we're just going to go back to our blueprint of just playing Sheyenne basketball. We got to make sure that we rebound the basketball. And, you know, tournament time, there's going to be ebbs and flows of the game, so we just got to make sure that we understand that, you know what, teams are going to make their runs. We want to make sure that the other team doesn't get a big run. And then when we get going, we really want to put it on them and extend our lead.
So, Coach, probably a kind of a unique position, waiting until the result of a Friday night game to know exactly where your team was slated in this tournament. Is that maybe an indication of how deep the EDC might be as compared to recent years in terms of how teams are playing right now?
Yeah, without a doubt. You looked at, you know, us 2 weeks ago. We were sitting in first, and then all of a sudden we went from first to third. And I think North was in seventh, and then they had the ability to go all the way up to 5. and I think South was around 4 or 5 or 6, and then they slid all the way to 7. So there was a lot of movement, and it just matters really what happens on any given night. You look at this girls game. They made a heck of a run there at the last 3-4 minutes of the game, but for a while they couldn't buy a basket. Yeah. So hopefully that doesn't happen for us, where there's a lid on the rim and everything's dropping for the other team, because then you're going to be in a hurt bag.
Jackson mentioned both you swept Fargo South this year, both 10-point victories, and you talked a little bit about not changing anything. What do you like about the matchups? What advantages do you think your team has against Fargo South in a matchup like this?
Well, number one, our size, and I think we got to utilize our size in every matchup that we have this season, and for them definitely with our size. And then they got an outstanding player with Hamilton. He's averaging 20-10, sophomore. I haven't seen many sophomores come into the league and average a double-double, so that's pretty remarkable from him. But we got a lot of guys that I feel like we can not really neutralize him, but just kind of maybe limit his touches, limit his points, limit his rebounds, or just hold him to a lower mark of the season. So that's going to be our objective, is to kind of hold their studs to under a point limit.
So win or lose tonight, you have a game on Thursday. That short a turnaround and not knowing who you're going to play until later in the evening, how do you approach that from a coaching perspective? Either way, you have a brand new opponent. Yeah, you've seen them, but how do you prepare for a game like that?
Well, every coach is kind of different, with the EDC format, compared to the WDA. The WDA has, the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and it's just back-to-back, and it's just chaotic craziness, so to speak. It's March Madness. Yeah. And the EDC has the Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, or the Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. I kind of like the one day in between.
I was going to ask that, but do you prefer Thursday, the second game, or the Friday?
Yeah, I don't kind of mind. We don't mind that Thursday game, because you can kind of prepare for that team, and then you win that day as well. Then you can kind of prepare, and it all depends. If you win 2 in a row, then you're in the kind of the driver's seat. Sure. And it's really relaxed. But really, we're not really focused on the next step. We're not focused on Thursday. We're not focused on Wednesday. We're focused on the task at hand, is making sure that we play a really good first half, and then after that build on that first half and play another good half.
So you mentioned the West being that traditional, that 3 days in a row tournament. Since this is our last broadcast of the year, what teams do you see as having the best opportunity to emerge from the WDA tournament? You probably know them better than most people in the East. Who do you see as maybe the strongest teams from the West?
Well, Jamestown, they just beat Minot, I think, 2 weeks ago, and they're an A seed. So, so now they're playing Minot. So, they might have a good matchup. Or they might have a good, blueprint against them. It seems that there always is a 2 seed or a 3 seed that loses first round. I don't know if it's because they're playing on the big court right away. That's a factor. This is one thing that's nice about having a home court. We're playing on a high school court right here. We're not playing on a college court, 94 feet. And sometimes when you get on the college court, you're not used to shooting on those rims. There's no backdrop and things like that. So that's where usually kind of the upsets happen, usually out in the WDA, is that first round.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you joining us here. Best of luck tonight, and hopefully a long run into the EDC and state tournaments, and we'll all be rooting for you.
Well, I appreciate it, and I appreciate the coverage all season. You guys have done outstanding work.
That's those guys. Thank you, everybody. Coach Tom Kirchhoffner. They'll be hosting the 7-seeded Fargo South Bruins, as Sheyenne is the 2 seed for the boys as well as the girls. And we'll see how this one turns out here. We have a half of basketball of the girls' game first, and then the boys will be coming up at approximately 7:30 this evening.
So here we go. Second half underway here. And Scout Woods, tough shot. That won't go. It's tipped around. Miscommunication there between Metcalf and Johnson. It's going to stay with the Huskies. And, for the boys team, Dan, for the Mustangs, I'm pretty sure, the confidence level is high. You don't want to get overconfident, but the Mustangs do have the #1 defense and #1 rebounding in the EDC. And that certainly helps, especially at this time of year. It's those two things that I think win championships, is defense and rebounding.
Well, and, of those losses down the stretch here in the regular season, as we see Coolmo take it strong to the rim against Carson Sanders and convert the first bucket of the second half. You know, really the teams that have played well or done well against Sheyenne have been those that shot it well from the outside.
Absolutely.
Red River near the end of the year and Davies. North, you know, took advantage of a poor shooting half by Sheyenne at the beginning of that game. But, you know, really, if a team shoots it well against you from the outside, that's probably the neutralizer against length and defense and those sorts of things. So,
well, like I say, we certainly saw that with the, you know, back in 2018 where we were talking about UMBC being the first 16 seed to be a 1 seed against Virginia. You know, Virginia was the #1 defense in the country, and UMBC just shot it lights out from the 3, and that certainly helps. They were 12 for 24 from the 3 in that game, and that ultimately led to their 74-54 victory over the Cavaliers in the NCAA tournament. And, you know, like one of the point guards for the Retrievers, UMBC, Jarius Lyles, he had 28 points and he was 9 for 11. So talk about shooting the ball well.
So we're going to see a quick timeout here, and we're going to stay here for the timeout as we go there. We want to make sure that all Mustang fans, attention, all Sheyenne Mustang fans, now is the time to show your school support and join us for the Booster Club's 6th annual Mustang Roundup, April 9th at 5:30 p.m. In order to continue supporting all Mustang Sheyenne activities, not just sports, we need you to come hang out with our Mustang family. And as a coach here at West Fargo Sheyenne, I can personally vouch for all the great things that the Mustang Boosters do for a multitude of programs here at Sheyenne High School. So if you're able, they would greatly appreciate your support in coming out to the Mustang Roundup on April 9th.
As you saw a glimpse there of the bracket for the girls, once again, as I mentioned, you know, the winner of this game will take on the winner of Red River and Devil's Lake, as Red River is the #3 seed and Devil's Lake's the #6 seed. And that's going to be up at the Shack. The semifinal rounds and the final rounds are going to be up at the Shack again this year. And it's just the quarterfinal rounds and playing games that have the games at the higher seed this year. Last year, the semifinal games were also at home at the higher seed because of COVID. And then only the final round games were played up at the Shack. But this year it's back to normal. So we do want to remind you guys of that. So as Dan said, this is our last broadcast of the year, as that's a finish by Lundberg in transition. So do have a scoring update for the girls. West Fargo High is currently beating Shanley 54-52 with 12 seconds to go. So that one's coming down the wire. That is on the other side of the bracket. That's West Fargo's the #4 seed and Shanley's the #5 seed.
And we see Olivia Manson pick up where she left off in the first half, making the corner 3, but Coolmo strong to the basket, keeping the Huskies in this.
Ooh, that's going to be a reach-in foul on Allard.
Yeah, number 14, Elena Allard.
So the Mustangs still up by 8 here. They had that late first half run. It was 24-23 Huskies, and then the Mustangs went on a 13-3 run at the end of the break there, at the end of the first half towards the intermission. And the Mustangs led 36-27 at the half.
So, yeah, really, aside from those 4 steals and then conversions on transition, Sheyenne or Wahpeton, the Huskies, played a very good half. They played Sheyenne straight up and hung with them. But that 8 points is the difference right now, as we see a 3 in and out there by Model.
And Metcalf finishes a layup in transition, and that's blocked. And once again, the bunny woes continue for the Mustangs.
Well, and you know, a night was coming like this as Max knocks down the corner 3. You know, Sheyenne has played so well over this stretch, and people stepping up in big situations. You knew there was going to be a night where maybe they didn't shoot it as well as they had previously. You never want that to happen at tournament time, but unfortunately you don't get to pick and choose, as we see Manson spot up, not able to convert, but Manson.
Metcalf with the putback.
Owning the offensive boards, great position on Scout Woods. But you know, this is one of those games that you're going to have to dig deep, and you're going to win it on rebounding and maybe a steal or a 50-50 ball somewhere in here.
We certainly saw Brenna Dick get a lot of steals in the first half. She had a series where she got 2-3 steals in a row there for the Mustangs.
They're going to get modeled for an off-the-ball foul there. I don't know if it was on a screen or what exactly, but second team foul for the Huskies. 13:05 left to go. 7-point lead for the Mustangs. But this might be one of those games where Sheyenne just kind of has to dig deep, and maybe you're not going to be making some of the shots that you have been, and you're going to have to do this the old-fashioned way.
Great move by Breidenbach. She's fouled on the way up. She'll go to the line for 2. Great spin move.
She hasn't shown up a ton in the scoring yet, but as you talked about in the pregame, Jackson, I think Breidenbach's done a good job of setting the tempo and kind of keeping things calm for the Mustangs. You know, when you play that up-tempo game, when the other team is playing up-tempo, you want to go with it. You know, and that's great when you're hitting, but when you're getting a little too fast, when you're getting a little loose with the ball, you need somebody, you need that floor general out there to say, okay, enough of that. We're going to take our time and let's go set something up and run some kind of set play.
And the Mustangs get another chance here. Fagerlund fires. That's long off of the back iron. And Sky Woods, who had the early hot start for the Huskies, coming out with the first 6 points for them.
Going to let Max have that 3.
Ooh, couldn't make him pay. Great offensive rebound. We saw a lot of those from both sides. Coolmont. Can't get it to
sorry,
go.
that was Bonchus, not Coolmo, and then Max is going to pick up a foul there.
Kind of hard to see with the long hair, the jersey numbers. That was number 10, not number 11. So 12:21 to go here. Mustangs maintain an 8-point lead, 44-36.
So this would be a great time to flash someone to that high post. There we go.
There we go.
We get
Just
that.
as you said, there you go. Pump fake move by Benedict.
That's how you beat that. You spread that defense out, and you get someone to flash to that position. Timeout for Wahpeton as the Mustangs lead 46-36. 12:04 to go. We'll be back on the other side of the timeout.
In this place, we face obstacles like nowhere else. The clock, the trail, the hill, the challenge that's always waiting. When that challenge comes, we'll meet it together. Because it's your chance to show what you're made of. Tenacity, resilience, and the power to prove that the toughest competition comes from within. This is orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else.
We're back from the break. Mustang fans, we want to remind you of one of our sponsors, Bell Bank. Bell Bank Mortgage is proud to support the West Fargo Sheyenne sports. Rates are great, so if you're considering moving up or maybe even becoming a homeowner for the first time, talk to the experts at Bell. We'll make your home happen. Bell Bank Mortgage, equal housing lender. Go Mustangs. And we also want to take a minute to thank our playoff game sponsors, the Mustang Boosters, Kale Dangerud, Matt and Brenda Entz, or excuse me, it's Dangerud, my bad. Matt and Brenda Entz, Corporate Technologies. Without your support, today's broadcast could not happen.
So we saw Coolmo with a great drive to the free throw lane, drawing some of the offensive or the defensive players from Sheyenne and finding Bonchus on the baseline, and she's able to convert. And now a foul, first foul of the night for Lunneborg for the Huskies. That's already the 5th team foul to none for the Mustangs. 5 for Wahpeton and none yet for the Mustangs. As
that tells me, with 0 team fouls, be a little more aggressive.
I think you can be, and Coolmo wanted a foul there, but she gave the look to the ref, didn't get the call she wanted. little more conventional look for Wahpeton here as they get out of that 1-2-2 kind of high trapping look that they had, and Sheyenne had just burned them on that with that flash to the high post by Brenna Dick, and then the pump fake and easy bucket. A little too much dribbling there, I think, by Coolmo, trying to dribble through that.
Great defense. Kaylin Haas almost got a hand on it. Brennan Dick comes up with it, and she tries to go coast to coast. She's blocked.
And we're going to see Manson, Sanders, and Johnson return for the Mustangs, and Model for the Huskies.
So we've seen 11 points from the Huskies and 10 points from the Mustangs here in the second half. Breitenbach has fouled hard on the way up.
Yeah, she took one across the mouth there, but gamer that she is, she pops back up and going to head to the line for two. That'll be the second now on Lunenburg.
You know, that's still a pretty impressive stat line. 9.5 points per game and 4.9 assists. Can't go wrong with that.
No.
Does her fair share of scoring, but also
distributes
as you should if you're a point guard.
Kylie Blado in for the Huskies for Lunenburg, who just picked up her second foul with 10:30 to go. Breitenbach converts both, and it's a 9-point Mustang lead.
So double-digit lead for the Mustangs here.
And a double dribble they're going to call there. You know, just as the second half is going on, you kind of get that feeling that Wahpeton's maybe running out of gas a little bit here. They kind of gave it, you know, their best shots in the first half, and kind of Cheyenne's had an answer for everything to this point. They're throwing some different things at them defensively, but Cheyenne's been able to weather everything the Huskies have thrown at them to this point. Good ball movement.
Great ball movement. Haas from the corner. She got it.
Yeah.
Cold-blooded three from the corner.
And you're just seeing it
Leads
a
up
little
to
bit
13.
in the body language from Wahpeton as well. Not that they're giving up, but they're seeing this. Coolmo, the drive. She's going to draw the contact from Sanders, and that's going to count.
Coolmo is having a game for the Huskies. Gets the lead back down to 11. 9:41 to go here in the game. And West Fargo did edge out that victory against Shanley, 54-52. Close game there. There was 12 seconds left with that same score. So West Fargo is going to move one step closer to the state tournament. If they win one more, they'll be back in it. And then Shanley's going to have to win their next two to get to state.
I believe, Jackson, if Davies wins their first-round game for the girls, that'll have a West Fargo and Davies.
That'll be a good matchup.
Game, and
then Davies will, or excuse me, Shanley, if they win their next game, they'll play the winners from this game, the Mustangs or the Huskies, or
the loser of this game. Shanley lost.
No, yeah, but Shanley's on the other side of the bracket.
Yeah, Davies.
Shanley's is on the other side of the bracket. They're the 5 seed, so they're on the top side. So if they win, they'll be in the state qualifier game, and then they'll play the loser of the other semifinal game, which will either be the Mustangs, Huskies, Rough Riders, or the Firebirds.
Yep. And I think Red River swept Devil's Lake in both games that they played this year.
And the last time the Mustangs lost was against Shanley, 55-52 in a close one back during the Christmas break, Dan. That was almost,
That seems like last year.
That was 2 months ago. And Mustangs haven't lost since. It's been 15 in a row now for them in the win column.
So they get Brooke Johnson with the legal screen there, trying to free up Manson for an outside look as Max. Great job of the reverse layup that time.
Great reverse layup there from Max. She's had a lot of those this game. And it's within 8 now. Just a moment ago, it was a 13-point lead. It was 51-38 as Manson 3 won't go. Johnson cleans it up off of the glass for 2. Back up to double digits.
Following that shot, great look, and then the quick putback by Brooke Johnson. 10-point lead still for the Mustangs with 8:36 to go.
Here's Max, mid-range jumper from 17 feet, hard off of the glass, gets her own rebound. Putback won't go, that's hard off of the glass again. And Breidenbach secures possession. She pushes the tempo now. She's going to drive, and she's blocked on the way up.
As we said, refs do let them play a little more as Max is going to go to the basket for two.
In transition.
I'm sure Breidenbach was looking for the foul on Coolmo on that one, but the refs said no foul, and then they go ahead
on the line.
Oh, they called her on the line, not the foul on Model.
That would have been a pretty weak call, anyways. I would have been surprised if they called that a body, but yeah, it looks like Breidenbach stepped on the line. You can't have turnovers like that. You got to take care of every possession. Every possession is valuable. You got to take care of the basketball.
And Coach Wingenbach letting the refs know that he's not exactly happy with the calls as of late.
Lundberg from the corner. She's short on that. Madsen cleans it up. .7:46 to go. Inside to Sanders. She's double teamed. Tough fin. Oh, almost got it to go. That would have been a tough finish. Metcalf can't get the offensive putback to go. And Sanders, third time's the charm. And one putback. And she'll go to the line.
And they're going to get Lunneborg on that, her third. And Bonchus comes in.
Sanders converts the three-point play the old-fashioned way.
As I've said, Cheyenne's just kind of answered. They haven't run away on this one, but they've answered everything that Wahpeton has brought the second half. And it remains that double digits, 11 points. And
Scout Woods tries to go up with some contact. Benedict finds Madsen in transition. Oh, missed the bunny.
Now, if the easy looks that Cheyenne has missed, if they make those tonight, it's probably about an 18-point lead, but good
right.
answer there.
That is true. But it's only 8 with 7 minutes to go here. The Huskies are not out of it. Great pass by Sanders.
And finish.
Metcalf for an end one finish. Another end one finish there, this time by Maya Metcalf. And the Mustangs and the Huskies are just trading baskets right now.
Yep. And Cheyenne is in the bonus the rest of the way, so they'll be shooting free throws on every Mustang foul.
Metcalf averaging 14.7 points per game and 8.3 rebounds. And she converts the three-point play. That's 2 times in a row now. First one was by Sanders, and then Metcalf gets the second one, 59-48. Max thought about pulling the trigger from the corner. Great bounce pass. Oh, just off her foot there.
Just a little too much pace on it. It was a great pass in a lot of traffic,
but
of
Bonchus' foot.
Yeah, unable to hold on to it.
Benedict breaks the press easy, finds Sanders in the open floor. Great Euro step. Oh, she almost got another end one there, but this time comes up short. So she's going to go to the line for 2 shots now. Sanders averaging 9 points per game on the dot, 6.9 rebounds. Only gets one of the 2 free throws to go. That's going to be a travel there on Bonchus. The Huskies
Brooke Johnson in for Sanders.
The Huskies are going to have to go on a little bit of a run here without trading baskets. You got to get points and then stops.
Time slipping away here from them, and as I said, they just look a little tired here in the second half. And Brooke Johnson has a good look, unable to convert, and then makes a foul on Woods as Woods starts to take the ball down the floor.
That's only the third team foul for the Mustangs.
Considering in the first half that there were a couple people in with 2 fouls, Sheyenne done an excellent job of staying out of foul trouble for this half.
Great defense by Brenna Dick. Bodies up Bonchus, and that's going to be too much contact there. So they're going to get the push on Brenna Dick. That's 2 on her. Here's a 3 from the right wing. That's long. Brenna Dick fights for it.
And
Comes up with it. Yeah, that's going to be a double dribble on Payne Breitenbach, unfortunately, as she kind of lost control there. We're down to 5:43 remaining here.
Time starting to slip away from the Huskies. They're going to have to put together a string of a few baskets and stops defensively then.
Here's Kumo. She tough right-handed floater. Almost got to go. Brenna Dick gets the rebound. Great crossover. She's going to push the tempo. Kicks it back out to Maya Metcalf for 3. That won't go. And the Huskies are going to also have to push the tempo as well. Get it up. Get some easy buckets in transition.
And while that was a good look for Sheyenne, I think that this is also the point where you want to start burning some of that shot clock.
Have some awareness.
Yeah, you've gotten good looks virtually the entire game, as we see long shot there by Brewer has Metcalf.
There you go. That's
finish.
The shot you need right there.
Yeah.
Metcalf finishes in transition.
Wahpeton's tired here, and you just, you take those easy ones as Bonchus is long on that.
And you'll take
foul. That's a tired foul right there. But I think you just want to burn some shot clock. Just burn clock as long as you can, as many times as you can. Get yourself a decent look, and then punch your ticket to a semifinal matchup against either Devil's Lake or Red River on Friday. So that does, we talked to Coach Kirchhoffner about it, and he kind of likes that Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday rotation that the boys have this year. They switch every year back and forth with the boys and the girls as Fargo and returns for Manson. But it does provide a little different scenario, especially if you lose a game on Friday night or Friday at some point, you've got to be back in less than 24 hours to play a play-in game, a super important game. That makes it difficult.
So a timeout's going to be taken here. The lead is up to 16 for the Mustangs, 64-48, 4:47 to go here in this quarterfinal matchup.
Kind of wonder where to even begin about what I love about Touchmark. It's everything. It's the time with the residents. It's my team. I work with wonderful individuals every single day. I love the people, and my job is to connect with them, and that's a pretty great job to have, that you get to make genuine, real connections with our residents and our team members. It's just the overall community. That is Touchmark. That's what I love.
Your full life happens here at Touchmark.
Mustang Media wants to take a few seconds to remind you that Essentia Health is the premier sponsor of Mustang Media. Essentia Health like nowhere else. So under 5 to go here, Jackson. 16-point lead for the Mustangs. A little high 1-4 backdoor cut to Scout Woods. Oh, they're going to call a jump ball on that one. Possession to the Huskies.
Yeah.
That looked like a lot of arm there, but Coach Wingenbach saying that's okay. That's okay, as the rest of the coaching staff behind him stares in disbelief.
Yeah. And that pass is thrown away. Hey, maybe the ball doesn't.
Maybe it was karma.
The ball
right
doesn't
there.
lie. Ball don't lie.
But at 4:32 here, Sheyenne, I would think Coach Wingenbach talked about, take care of the ball. Let's burn some clock. And, you know, just look at the scoreboard. We're up 16. They have to chase us. And then when you can get those looks, it's a pretty simple game.
Benedict finishes with a little floater.
So now an 18-point lead coming down on 4 minutes. A steal.
And then another steal. Yeah, you're definitely right, Dan, though, about Wahpeton being tired.
Yeah.
It's definitely showing here. And that's going to be a foul.
They're gassed. Yeah, I don't know if she was in the protected circle there or not, but Benedict goes to the line with a chance to extend it to 20 with 4:02 to go. But, yeah, Wahpeton has looked tired since about, I don't know, the 12-minute mark or so. You know, and they were the ones that initiated that up tempo, and that's fine if you do that, but you got to have the horses that can run with that. And, you know, I guess Wahpeton did have to play a play-in game on Saturday, and Cheyenne's had that advantage of not having played since last, Thursday, I think they finished up. So, you know, probably would stand to reason that Cheyenne's legs are a little fresher as Benedict does indeed extend the lead to 20.
And that's going to be Allard firing from the 3 off of the back iron. Won't go. Great pass from Sanders. Metcalf. The Mustangs are just burning the Huskies down the floor as Metcalf finishes in transition. But, hey, that's why you get in shape at the beginning of the year.
Yep.
And the teams that can get out and run the most efficiently and for the longest, they're going to end up having a huge advantage when it comes to the end of the game. As Wahpeton was like right there with them in the first half, and now we wouldn't. I didn't expect this. You know, the Mustangs' lead is now up to 22.
Yeah, and it's there's 24. You know, and it's been kind of a sneaky because it hasn't been predicated by huge runs or anything. It's just that Sheyenne kind of answered multiple times in the second half, and when Wahpeton scored, Sheyenne answered, and then when Wahpeton didn't score, Sheyenne answered. And then suddenly you look up and it's 14, and then 16, and then now it's 24. And
Mustangs have outscored the Huskies 36-21 here in the second half. 3:07 to go here.
And we're going to see Wahpeton waving the white flag here a little bit as they're going to do the hockey line shift as the score table is trying to take in all the new numbers. And I think Coach Wingenbach is going to do the same. We're going to see 5 new Mustangs here after this possession,
including a few sophomores.
Yeah, and that's a good thing, you know, to get your first little taste of what an EDC game means and those sorts of things. There's just no substitute for getting some experience as we see Manson finish the game the way that she had.
There you go.
She started it. Great job by Manson tonight. I don't know what she has, but it's got to be near
14.
20.
Yeah. That was 4 threes. Definitely helps for you.
Absolutely. So we're going to see Husted, Holder, Archigo. Who else do we have out there that's brand new? We have Erlacher, and I think Jordan Bio is the last of the new players out there. So they're going to call a blocking there, and we're going to see, is that Bio or Archigo there? I didn't see. I think that was Archigo that's going to go to the line.
She gets the first one to go. Leads up to 28.
So what I liked about this, Jackson, is it didn't come easy for Sheyenne. You know, and credit a lot of that to what Wahpeton did, especially in that first half. But it's easy to win when everyone's confident and you're shooting well and the ball's falling in and, you know, you're rebounding and you're taking care of the ball. It's a lot harder to do when you're not playing your best basketball. And so that was really, really great to see for Sheyenne, I think, tonight, to not play their best, but still going to end up on the good end of a lopsided victory.
Ooh, banked in shot from the right wing.
The bank by Hallie Miller
Miller
cuts it to 27. But I think that a lot of positives to be taken out of this by Sheyenne. Now, you play against Red River or Devil's Lake in a situation like this, probably not going to be as fortunate. But tonight, really just a good kind of blue-collar workman-like effort by the Mustangs, I thought.
And Hallie Miller's going to drive, and she gets the N1.
Talk about making the most of your opportunities. She's going to have a chance to go to
got
line
5.
for her 6th point, and she's only a freshman, so some good things
Great
here.
impression there on, for sure, for head coach, in front of head coach Brian Watson.
Absolutely. Say, hey, coach, remember next year I'll be back.
She's gotten the last 5. Let's see if she can make it a 6th point here. And she does. So quick 6 points there from Miller. 78-54, a minute and a half to go, and the Mustangs are just going to chew the clock here with a couple more shots, as they do have the shot clock still. That's picked off, almost. That's going to be a foul there.
Looks like they're going to get Bile with the foul. 16 foul. No. Oh, yep.
Miller, great crossover. Floater. That won't go. Rebounded by Husted. Urlacher up ahead to Bile.
Travel called there, I think, on Bile.
Not sure. Lucy Greenwood was posting up there.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what.
She was ready to receive the ball down low there on the right block. Three from the top of the key. Desperation.
three.
Oh, my goodness.
Brooklyn Smith from downtown.
So it's down to 21.
10-second difference on the shot clock and the game clock.
Trying not to make the score look as bad, the deficit look as bad. It's down to 21. It's blocked. And I'm not sure why they're Maddie Husted stops stops the Huskies from getting out in transition. Tough shot. Floater's good.
Another one by Miller.
She's got a quick 8 points there in the last couple of minutes. And the Mustangs are just going to dribble this one out. Oh, that's picked off.
And that's Miller again.
Oh, my goodness. Almost got it to go. And the horn sounds, and the Mustangs win 78-59. They're moving on to the semifinal round. They'll play the winner of Red River and Devils Lake. The Huskies will play the loser of that game. Overall, great second half performance from Sheyenne.
Really was. They took care of the ball. They stayed out of foul trouble. Much better job defensively, moving and being in good position, and then rebounding. Took care of the ball, and as we said, looked like Wahpeton ran out of some gas there in the second half. Game effort by them in the first half, but just didn't have enough in the take. And Sheyenne extends that win streak. So
16, 19-3 now on the season. You know, and like you said, I mean, Wahpeton was up 24-23, and then it kind of all started when the Mustangs went on that late 13-3 run at the end of the first half.
Yeah, like we said, aside from those 4 steals and conversions, Wahpeton had played really well in that first half. Scout Woods had made her presence known. Coolmo had played well. But in the end, probably just a little too much depth for the Mustangs, and they're going to walk away with a 19-point victory. We're going to take a break here. We'll come back with some second half second half highlights, and then we'll break it down, and then we'll be back for the boys' game starting at about 7:30. So join us right after the break.
Don't go anywhere, folks.
In this place, we face obstacles like nowhere else. The clock, the trail, the hill, the challenge that's always waiting. When that challenge comes, we'll meet it together. Because it's your chance to show what you're made of. Tenacity, resilience, and the power to prove that the toughest competition comes from within. This is orthopedics and sports medicine like nowhere else.
Why do I choose to work here? It's the people. It's the feeling that you get when you've been gone for a weekend and everybody's genuinely happy to see you and you're so happy to see them too.
They are wonderful. The staff is wonderful. They are so friendly. They're so happy all the time.
It's a family. It's just that overall culture that we have. It's a great culture, and I'm very lucky to be a part of it.
Your full life happens here at Touchmark.
Mustang fans, we are back here with our Essentia Health postgame show for the girls. The Mustangs beat the Huskies 78-59 to move on to the EDC semifinal round. We got these game summary highlights that are sponsored by Touchmark coming your way here. By Touchmark at Harwood Groves, a full-service retirement community complete with the health and fitness club, offering fitness classes, personal training, and more so you can stay active with your grandkids for years to come. Visit touchmarkfargo.com to learn more. And boy, what a game that was. Pretty fast. You know, the boys game doesn't get started until another 39 minutes or so. It's only 6:50 here, and the boys game starts at 7:30. But the Mustangs, they were able to hold off the Huskies. It was a back and forth first half. The Mustangs were up by 9 at halftime, and then they eventually pulled away. They were trading buckets there for a while. As you said, Dan, the Huskies, every time they scored, it seemed like the Mustangs had an answer for them. And the Mustangs were able to pull away there at the end and capture a 19-point victory.
They really did, they did it in a variety of fashions. They were good on the offensive glass. We saw Carson Sanders, Brooke Johnson, Maya Metcalf active on the offensive glass. Much better job defensively in the second half, I thought. They got out and ran a little bit, knocked down a couple of shots. So it was just a good all-around game. I don't know that they probably shot it great at the end of the day, especially from the three. Really, only Olivia Manson stands out as having been one of the, the main contributors from behind the arc. But again, I think that's a good thing for the Mustangs to struggle a little bit and have to work your way through that. Sometimes when you think it comes so easily, you kind of forget the things that got you here. And so it was a great effort by the Mustangs in the second half.
Well, as you get deeper into any tournament you play when it comes to the sport of basketball, it gets tougher. The competition gets tougher. They're probably either going to face Devil's Lake or Red River. Devil's Lake is a 6th seed this year, but they were one of the top teams in the EDC last year, and they're a team that you can't take lightly. So we'll see how Red River plays against them.
Absolutely, and we saw Devil's Lake gave some problems to the Mustangs with their press defense and the pressure that they bring every night. So it's obviously the intensity needs to ratchet up the next level. The game you bring has to ratchet up, and we saw tonight, just like we've talked about, refs let the ball, the game go a little more. It was a little more physical. And so all of this you have to kind of take in stride and kind of figure that out as you go. So, for Sheyenne, looking forward, I don't think there's probably any great preference in their terms. I'm sure Coach Wingenbach says, hey, bring on the next team. We're ready for them. We've proved, we've swept both of those teams this year. But I would also think he would concede it's probably not a given. It's not like we're just going to walk into the gym and win. We're going to have to execute. We're going to have to play our game. And if we do that, we're going to have a chance to win.
So as you guys can see on the bracket here, the Mustangs will play at 7:15 in the evening on Friday up at the Shack. They'll take on the winner of Grand Forks, Red River, and Devil's Lake. And then on the top side, West Fargo beat Shanley by 2 points in a close matchup. And then Devil's Lake's taking on Fargo North. That game started at 5 o'clock, so we'll get a scoring update we'll update you guys during the boys game on who won that. Davies is they're a good team almost every year for the boys and girls. They're at the top seed for both the boys and girls, so it's going to be an interesting matchup though for sure, Dan, especially we talked about it all season long how stacked the EDC is for both the boys and girls across the board.
Yeah, it really is. Both conferences going several teams deep, 4, 5, 6 teams deep that have a legitimate case for making a state tournament and, for pulling off an upset or playing really well at a state tournament. So it'll be exciting to see. As you like to point out, Jackson, it's March. Anything can happen. And we'll see what transpires on Friday night for the Mustangs as they await the winner of the Red River and Devils Lake Firebirds game.
So, expect the unexpected, folks. That's going to do it for the girls' broadcast. We are 35 minutes away from getting the boys' game underway. The Mustangs are taking on Fargo South in a little over half an hour here. So the Mustangs defeat the Huskies 78-59. Make sure you subscribe to Mustang Media so you can get notifications on when we go live. We'll have the boys' game set up for you guys. And the Mustangs for the girls are one win away now from another state tournament appearance. I believe it's their third in the last 5 years. They made it in 2018 and 2019. So we'll see how that plays out on Friday night. Should be a good one. And their winning streak is now up to 16 in a row, 19-3 overall. So
I'm going to guess that Coach Wingenbach hopes the 2022 never ends. We'll maybe ask him about that. He's going to join us at halftime of the boys' game. But until then,
I'm Jackson Miller.
Dan Wolf.
We'll see you guys in half an hour for the boys' game between the Mustangs and the Bruins.
I got